so that is what got me, because I was like, God, that changed my perspective.
Yeah.
Because then I was like, God, if that's the case, then yes, I do want companionship, because I know I'm a different person, and everything that you have done in me, I want to do for someone else. So now my brain doesn't go to, I need you to provide for me. You need to do something for me.
Exactly.
What I want to do is, how can I serve you in a way or love you in a way that you've never been loved before?
Exactly.
How can I be part of your healing process and then not feel like a burden
wanting to learn how to love that person.
Yes. So my perspective has changed completely, because I'm like, God, I don't want it to be that somebody's doing something for me. Hey, I know that just because you allow them to come into my life, they're going to heal those parts that still need healing from that opposite sex, or whatever that is. Whatever that is, they're going to bring that to the table. But I also want to be that for them. Right? Yeah. And so when I talk to people, because I haven't really dated people, but when I've talked to people, I'm very, 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 very specific in my prayer with God. I'm like, God, if this is not going to be beneficial to me, and this is not for me, within the next 48 hours, I need people to ghost.
Damaris, it happens. We've talked about it every time.
Yes.
And so, it sounds like a great perspective. Listen, amazing. He sounds amazing. But Lord, if it's not yours, please remove him immediately. Listen, it doesn't even take minutes. He's out.
Not even 24 hours.
It was disappear.
And so we be laughing because you be
when you really want something,
when you ask God and you're honest about it, and you're gonna stand on that, and you ain't gonna play with that. God's like, bet, say less.
You ask for it, I'm gonna take care of it.
I'm gonna take care of it. You don't have to worry about it. But remember, that's in everything that we do in life.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we only believe that in only certain areas around
lives. Right. It's in everything.
It's in everything. Yeah. But God has been wonderful, where I've talked to people for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I've learned something. Or it didn't work out. And I'm like, God, why did this not work out? But this the whole thing, you already kind of know ahead of time, because there's certain things that are not aligning.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but you're like, but God, why didn't it work out? Or what did I need to learn from that? Yeah. Right. Yeah. I've learned so much about myself.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody that had promised, very lovely, lovely, lovely person. But towards like a month in, I started getting really bad anxiety. And I didn't know why was I getting like really bad, like separation anxiety. Yeah. And I don't even see this person all the time, but it was just the thought of not having him around anymore, because he was such a sweet person.
Right.
And I started having these anxieties. I'm like, oh, I need to talk to my therapist. So I started praying and stuff like that. And one day I was praying, and it was like the Holy Spirit said, there's a spirit of abandonment in you. And I was like, what? I've never felt abandoned. Well, I didn't think I felt abandoned, because I don't think logically I've ever thought of being abandoned. However, I had those. And whatever he was doing was triggering abandonment issues.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never said a word of abandonment ever in my entire life.
But it maybe it's been in the situation that you've been in, those moments, and that you have maybe felt that. Maybe you haven't thought about it, but maybe you felt it. And the enemy is so crazy, because he would want to bring it right back to you in those
crazy moments. And it's not necessarily
those vulnerable moments.
Abandonment. Yeah. And that's what I had to realize. It's not necessarily, and when I talked to my therapist, I was like, I had this like feeling. She's like, Damaris, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's physical abandonment. It could be emotional abandonment.
Yes.
It could be financial abandonment.
Yeah.
It can be, you know what I'm saying? Love abandonment. People that promised that they loved you, but they didn't actually showed up.
Right.
Those things, he's triggering something in you that is making you feel that way.
Exactly.
And I was like, wow. So I learned. I learned a lot. And in the process of doing that, I know that we're always talking about lists and stuff like that. And people are making these lists of this and lists of that. First of all, I'm a grown woman. Okay. And I have preferences. Okay. However, even in that, I've had to submit that to God. Yeah. And be like, God, this is my preference, but you know what is good for me.
Right.
And I know that whatever you bring to me, I'm going to be attracted to.
Exactly.
Whatever that is. So that opened my preferences now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
you want to share?
Yeah. You're going to have to DM me and ask me those questions. Okay. This
is going to be another segment. Okay. We're going to be more raw.
We're going to be more specific.
More specific.
But one day I was talking to my therapist. I'm like, I have like this list of things that I've been praying to God. God, I would like a husband like this. I would like a husband like that. Everything like she said, girl, that list is long. I said, and this is the funny thing about it. A lot of it didn't have to do with finances or anything like that, or their appearance. It had all to do with character, the character of the person.
Right.
And she says, tell me of the relationship where you feel that your needs have been met. And immediately,
that's nice.
I was like, I've never been in a relationship where my needs have been met. And she's like, I want you to sit in the question just a little bit longer. But me, I'm thinking physically here, humanly.
Yeah.
And I said, the only relationship that I feel that my needs have been met has been my relationship with the Lord. Mm-hmm. And she says, and what does that list look like? Mm-hmm. I'm like, he's been my protector. Mm-hmm. He's been my provider. Mm-hmm. He's been this. He's been that. He's been this. And he's like, there goes your list. She's like, your 10 characteristics that you want in a man are these 5 things that God has presented himself into you. Mm-hmm. So now when I talk to somebody, I'm not saying, are you Christian? You go to church, you do this. What is your belief? I'm looking for those characteristics that God has presented in my life.
Exactly.
As my point of view of, I know you ain't God. You ain't going to be perfect. However, this is how God treats his bride.
Right.
Is this the way you're going to treat me?
Right.
Because in this life, this second part, I want to be submitted to my husband because I want somebody to lead me to understand my God better.
Exactly.
I want somebody to
hold me accountable.
To hold me accountable and stuff like that. And me be willing to do that. But in order for me to be, I need to trust you.
Exactly.
And that's a very big part of a lot of the reasons why I haven't been accountable or done stuff, or I've moved the way that I move, because I don't trust people.
Right.
So God, that's why you have to bring God in the situation from the beginning. You don't need to be asking God, if this is your person, God, should we be getting married after you've been with them for 6 months? No, first day. The minute somebody's coming to you, talking to you some type of way, God, if this is yours, then I will entertain it. If it's not yours, then I'm not wasting my time, and I don't want them to waste their time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let's move on. Mm-hmm. No hard feelings. Mm-hmm. And I be telling y'all, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, girl, I'm fine. Why is everybody else upset? I ain't upset. I am not upset at all. People can ghost me, honey, by all means, do you, boo. Okay? God bless you.
That's the protection.
Listen, God bless you in your endeavors, because Jesus is protecting me. Is protecting my mind, my heart, my sanity, my safe space. And I don't blame, honey. I want you to be with somebody else. God bless you.
That's so true.
I do that with that, and I do that with jobs. I'm like, God, please close that door or open that door for that person and close it for me. Bless them when they go out. Bless them, bless them in everything that they do. I don't have ill feelings or nothing like that. And I'm like, you can act crazy, but you ain't gonna act crazy with me.
Exactly.
You can leave that for the next person, because I got Jesus on my side. Exactly. I ain't doing all that.
You don't have the time for that.
Don't have the time for that. So when it comes to relationships, my perspective has changed.
And that's good.
Because you know what?
That's a good thing.
I want God's best for me.
Yes.
I don't want what I think is best for me. I want what God thinks is best for me.
Yes.
And all the quirkiness and all the stuff that isn't 100% and all that stuff in conversation. And if you love somebody and you're willing to put in the work for it, then that can flourish.
Exactly.
That can flourish, because at the end of the day, looks and all that stuff is temporary.
It's temporary.
You know what I'm saying? How you treat me and how my soul responds to the way you respond is more important than anything else. And so with that being said, you're going to have a better sex life. You're going to have a better spiritual life. You're going to have a better every family life. You're going to have a better communication when you take into account what God has in store for you, and that you deserve better. You deserve better. God wants you to have better.
Absolutely.
So you deserve better.
Absolutely.
So you want to treat people better, but you can't treat people better if you don't feel like you should be treated better.
Right.
Because if you don't hold yourself to those same standards, then how can you expect somebody else to love you?
How can you attract that?
And attract that. People are going to tell you everything. People say everything.
Oh my God.
There's more women than men in this world. So men are trying. and you know what? And if they can't with you, they're going to go to the next person. That's what I'll be getting surprised. When somebody sucks, then you with somebody else in the next video, I'll be like, you funny. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
wild.
To me, I'm like, that's so funny.
It's crazy.
Because I'm like, you go from one person to one. You can't, because there's so many women.
There's so many women.
And so many women that are able to take
and that are
whatever,
willing.
And willing to go to
accept everything.
But this is what I heard a pastor say, and I love what he says. When a woman accepts God as his Lord and Savior, and her life starts changing, her priorities and the way that she thinks changes. Her needs change. She's not going to tolerate as much. And the more she serves God and the more she knows herself, the less she's going to tolerate.
Yeah.
But you know what? That may keep you single for a while. Season. But it's so worth it in the long run.
I agree with that.
And so when he said that, I was like, okay, God, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, you want to have companionship, and then other days I just really want to be left alone. So I need somebody to understand that. Be like, yo, you go to your space, I go to my space, and we'll see each other later. Bet. You play your games, I go see my movies. We good. You know what I'm saying? I'll even bring you snacks. You know what I'm saying? I'll be texting you, hey, you need some snacks? You want to drink? I'm going to get some for you. You know, hey, I'm going to love on you, take care of you, then I'm going to leave you alone. So I could be alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that understand you, can you have this communication with somebody?
Exactly.
To me, I'm going to be as blunt. I'm too old. I need to be able to say what I need to say. And you know that my heart is loving and caring, and we're gonna do this together. And people tell me like, girl, I got you. I'm like, that's right. Let's do this. You know, so that's how I view love now. Love to me was very, and I'm not. I don't.
And I like that you compare that. That was in love. I think in love, being in love with someone and loving someone is two different things. Definitely, a lot of people don't know the definition of being in love and loving someone. And I want to be in love with someone. I just don't want to love. When you're in love, you go through the tough times, you go through the great times, and it doesn't matter what the situation it is, you're gonna go through it because you're past in love. Exactly.
You love that soul.
You like,
that
you love
soul,
that person for
that
who they are.
soul, the way they move, the way they do things come from the soul, right? And so that is what we love.
That is amazing.
Everything can change in a heartbeat. But if you know that person's heart, and that's why anytime I pray for my future husband, I'm like, God, I want a husband that his heart is yearning for you. If he's a man that is yearning for you, yo, I can rock with you. Like everything else, we work it out.
We need okay, next month, like, we're gonna do a podcast I'm gonna tell you later. But listen, stay tuned because it's gonna be nice and spicy.
Nice and spicy. You know what I'm saying?
And it's what we're living nowadays in the dating scene. For sure. For sure. We're gonna talk about that.